So in the previous class, we have studied the first topic, the living world, and the second topic, biological classification, that what you have studied in the previous videos. And then R.H. Whittaker, as already you know that earlier only 2 kingdom system of classification were there, and then later on 5 kingdom system of classification has been invented, that has been made by R.H. Whittaker. R.H. Whittaker proposed 5 kingdom system of classification. You know that. So now, out of these 5 kingdoms, we have completed Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, and Mycota. These 3 kingdoms we have completed. Now we are going to start the primitive organisms, whatever we have completed in the previous chapter. Continuation of that, the higher organisms, that is Kingdom Plantae as well as Animalia. So now we are going to start today the 4th topic, that is the 4th kingdom, and 3rd topic, Plantae, Kingdom Plantae. So far whatever you have studied, right from the bacteria to the mycota or the fungi. So now we have discussed about that, why fungi it has been classified into separate group. It is because of that they are exhibiting neither complete characteristics of animals nor the plants. So now today we are going to start the new topic, that is chapter 3. Chapter 3, Plant Kingdom. Plant Kingdom. Sasya Samrajya anta karikare. Plant Kingdom, what we are observing. So in this you can see that we are going to study the various plant species which contain chlorophyll pigment. The plant character, you know that they may contain the chlorophyll pigment. Why? Because they can synthesize their own food. That is the important part. So in turn we are going to be called as autotrophic in nature. So next is, in this plant kingdom we are studying the multicellular algae. We are studying the multicellular algae. Shaivalagalu anta karitare karavadu. Multicellular algae. Then we are observing the bryophytes. Bryophytes. Then next is pteridophytes. Bryophytes, pteridophytes. Then gymnosperms. Gymnosperms and angiosperms. Gymnosperms and angiosperms. So algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and the angiosperms. ಆವೃತ ಬೀಜ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳು, ಅನಾವೃತ ಬೀಜ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳು, ಹಾವಕ್ಷ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳು ಅಂತ ಈ ತರ ನೀವು ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಆಲ್ಗೆ, ಬ್ರಯೋಫೈಟ್ಸ್, ಟೆರಡೋಫೈಟ್ಸ್, ಜಿಮ್ನೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ and the angiosperms. Out of these present syllabus we can observe that the angiosperms are not there. Up to gymnosperms we are going to study. Angiosperm is not there. Up to gymnosperms we are going to study. Followed? Very simple characters we are dealing with it, and don't by heart all those things, and you can understand the concept what is going to be observed. So now, before starting the algae, earlier we made, or some of the scientists made the classification. Plant kingdom also, it has been classified several times. Several scientists have been normally made effort making the classification, and the changes are also it has been done. So different scientists made the different kind of classification. So there are 3 kinds of classification that what we are observing here, that is artificial system of classification. Artificial system of classification. This is an introduction part. Artificial system of classification. Right from the previous part that whatever we have studied, so continuation of the classification, as we are dealing that plant kingdom is also undergoing various kind of the classification. Idu kuda classify agudadre bahalastu changes agi classify agide. So that is artificial system of classification, then natural system of classification. Natural system of classification. artificial system, natural system, and phylogenetic system of classification, and phylogenetic system of classification, and phylogenetic system of classification. So artificial system of classification, natural system of classification, phylogenetic system of classification. So here you can see that artificial system of classification. Artificial system of classification means how this classification has been done. In the earlier class we have discussed that. Classification has been done based on the normally, not naturally occurring here, based on the only morphological characters. Classification has been done based on the morphological characters or the external features only, like color, the chlorophyll pigment if it is there, and the habit where they are going to be found. That is, color means the coloration of the leaves, habit how they are going to be found. So based on that, the classification has been done. That is called as artificial system of classification. So in this artificial system of classification, normally morphological characters only observed, external features only it has been observed. So now this is also artificial system of classification is also considered as a linear system of classification. Who has done this? Linnaeus. Carolus Linnaeus ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸಲ ಎರಡು ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟೆ ಮತ್ತು ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಎನಿಮೇಲಿ. Aristotle also you can see that how they have classified artificial system. Artificial system is man-made. That what we are observing, that only the external features of the plant species, and they have not at all separated the plant species. Plant species separate model, and they have given equal weightage to the vegetative characters as well as the sexual characters. Sexual reproduction, vegetative reproduction anta ee tara separate madilla, and usually they have given common weightage or equal weightage. Vegetative reproduction ಅಂದ್ರೆ fragmentation ಅದು ಕೂಡ, and sexual reproduction the same ಅಂದ್ರೆ they have not at all studied about those things, only on the external features, a herb, shrub or the trees. Based on that they made classification. This is not the natural system or the evolutionary character. So here only the external features they made the classification. So for this, if they are giving equal weightage, sexual reproduction one day or sexual reproduction also same, vegetative reproduction also same, they are not at all separated, and they have not separated the species also. So in this way, one species to another species, whether the identical characters are there or not, they have not at all observed. Simply by seeing the plant, they have classified. That is why this system of classification failed. Artificial system of classification failed because they have not at all studied by the help of the natural system. The internal characters they are not seeing. They are not at all observed regarding the internal characters or the anatomical characters or the embryological characters. Simply on the morphological base, herb, shrub or the trees. Herbaceous ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಬೋದು, ಸಣ್ಣ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸಪರೇಟ್. Whether they contain chlorophyll pigment, they are going to make the separate. So in this way, based on the color, it is not considered as a classification. So because of this artificial system of classification failed. ನೆನಪಿಡ್ರಿ, ಇದು ಮಾರ್ಫಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೀನಿಯರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದ್ರು. So later on, if this artificial system not acceptable anta, so then we have studied about the RH Whittaker made the classification anta nodidru. Then natural system of classification comes. In this natural system of classification, they have studied about the external and the internal features. Andre morphological characters onde nodili, morphological characters also they have studied, anatomical characters also they have studied, and even embryological characters also they have studied. Morphology, anatomy and the embryological characters also they have observed. So natural system of classification, it has been observed by Bentham and Hooker. Bentham and Hooker. Natural system of classification done by Bentham and Hooker. So this is acceptable, no doubt. As far as this is considered, artificial system compare ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ natural system of classification has to be accepted. Why? Because naturally, however they are present, internal characters also, species they have clubbed based on the internal characters. But sometimes what will happen? Sometimes you can observe that some of the related species are also there, means it is not at all possible to club the animals. Natural system of classification andaga internal character they have studied. So now these internal characters among, for example, insects are there. For example, we can say the frog may be there. Frog nalile bere bere. Some are normally showing the external characters, maybe the internal salamander is different from the frog. Then how you are doing that? Whether you are including the same species, antavaga, so they have not answered about these things. Embryological character they have observed, no doubt. Are the basis ಮೇಲೆ classification ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, and then you can observe that this natural system of classification accepted at that moment because this was not explained properly. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ natural system of classification ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ accept ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. Later on you can observe that some scientists who made phylogenetic system of classification. Phylogenetic system of classification means evolutionary. Phylogenetic system of classification means evolutionary. Andre present day classification, whatever they have done, it is not from the natural system of classification. It is mainly based on the phylogenetic system of classification. Phylogenetic system of classification means classification is mainly based on the evolutionary relationship. Classification is mainly based on the evolutionary relationship. So on the basis of, for example, taxa, what we are saying that on the basis of that, taxa means one unit of the classification. Taxa means ranking level of classification. Even now mammals, this is one taxa. Order, what we have observed, this is one taxa. In that taxa, normally some of the animals are also including, some species are also including. For example, monkey is there. Monkey is supposed to be, you know that, monkey. It also belongs to order primate. Human beings are also related to primate. ಯಾವ basis ಮೇಲೆ? Based on the criteria of the ancestors, they made the classification. So this is now acceptable ಅಂತ ಬಂತು. ಯಾಕೆ? There is no, for example, how they made the classification earlier I told you. Fishes ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ next amphibia ಬಂತು. Amphibia ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ reptiles. ಯಾವ basis ಮೇಲೆ? Whether they are considering it as a digestive system or respiratory system or excretory system, like the natural system. ಅಂದ್ರೆ anatomical characters ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀಲಿ. Phylogenetic system ಹೇಗೆ? So amphibians, example frog. In the embryological stage, frog is looking like fish and they are showing gill breathing characters and the tadpole larva. That's what we are saying there. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನರಿ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಡೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಏನು RH ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಫೈಲೋಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. ಸೊ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಕ್ರೈಟೇರಿಯಾ ಆಫ್ ದೇರ್ ancestors may not necessary of suppose fossil record may be available, may not be available. So because of this, on the basis of normally ancestors they made the classification ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಇದರಿಂದ ಇವು ಬಂತು ಆಸ್ಟ್ರಲೋಪಿಥೆಕಸ್ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಓದಿರಿ in the earlier time we must write them. So ಮಂಗನಿಂದ ಮಾನವ, monkey to man. So like this they identified from fishes to the frog to the reptiles, because some of the characters reptiles are showing. ಈಗ crocodile ಇದೆ ಹೌದಾ, it is supposed to be showing the characteristics of even birds also. ಯಾಕೆ next ಯಾಕೆ birds ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ crocodiles are showing incompletely developed four-chambered heart, not completely developed but they are showing. In the earlier class also I told you slime mounds, they are exhibiting certain characteristics of fungi. Why? Because saprophytic in nature. ಅಂದ್ರೆ how they are showing characters based on the evolution. ಅಂದ್ರೆ these are the system it has been adopted. ಹಿಂಗಾಗಿ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ancestors ಮೇಲೆ it has been identified. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ mammals ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು, fishes ಬರ್ತಿದೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. So based on the evolutionary concept it has been identified. So ಹಿಂಗ plant kingdom is undergoing the classification and they have changed several times. It has been changed from artificial to the phylogenetic system. So present day system what we are learning the classification is based on the phylogenetic system ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬಹುದು. ಈಗ ಏನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ phylogenetic system of classification. So phylogenetic system of classification, it has been made by Engler and Prandtl. Engler and Prandtl, phylogenetic system, it has been made. Okay. So now we can observe that later on we are studying the animals, later on we are studying certain plant species, later on we are going to study about the data of this. ಈಗ ಮೊದಲು ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ then now we are studying about that cell structure and function, chromosomal number, what are the chemical composition of the all later on it is going to be observed. First classification ಬೇಕು, identification, classification and naming the organisms ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಓದಿ. So together that what we are calling it as taxonomy. So based on that we are observing that next is ಇದಾದ ಮೇಲೆ they have studied about the numerical taxonomy. ಇದಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂತು numerical taxonomy. Next cytotaxonomy, numerical taxonomy, cytotaxonomy, then chemotaxonomy ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. So what do you mean by this? After the classification, ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಹೌದಾ, ಮೊದಲು ಒಂದು ಇರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಗ ಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಇರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಗ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಶುರು ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಊಟ ಮಾಡೋದು, ವೇರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು normally collect the food material and all those things, we have to think of that. Like that, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗ ಸಿಕ್ತ place, now we are thinking that regarding the cellular structure, regarding the chromosomal number, based on that, right? So now numerical taxonomy. The numerical taxonomy means now the data has been assigned in the computers. All this classification, ಎಲ್ಲ classification data ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ assign ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ computer na ಮಾಡಿ, then here we are observing that detailed information that has been collected from various species. That is also important. The ಎಲ್ಲ species the importance ನಾವು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು, that is numerical taxonomy ಅಂತ ಬಂತು. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಕೋಡ್ ಅಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. Each character we are normally assigning the code, so that number of characters it is going to be observed. Numerical taxonomy ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Numerical taxonomy ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so here we are normally assigning certain codes into some characteristics, so that identification of the species is going to be found very clearly. Number of characters are going to be found. ಒಂದೊಂದು ಸ್ಪೇಸಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಜನರಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ we are going to assign in numerical taxonomy. ಇದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ we are collecting the detailed data from the computers. With the help of computers we are collecting the detailed data of the various species. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಪೇಸಸ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಈಗ ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿಗೆ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ how many species are there which are normally considered as an endangered species? ಹೌದಾ, ಅಂದಾಗ endangered species ಅಂದಾಗ now we have collected the data and now it is possible to secure them. ಹೌದಾ, it is possible to rescue them. How it is normally ಅಂದ್ರೆ establishment of the national parks and all those things. ಹೌದಾ, so in that way ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Herbarium center is going to be found. You can observe that botanical garden it has been established because some of the important spaces we have identified. ಅದು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, with the help of the computers we are getting the detailed data. That is the numerical taxonomy. Number of organisms it is going to be identified and we are normally setting the information through the computers. We are collecting the information from the computers, so that we are assigning the codes in each character, so that number of characters are going to be studied. Next one is cytotaxonomy. Cytotaxonomy means cyto refers to the cell. Here we are studying the various cellular structure. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, here we are studying the cellular structure like various cell organelles, like we are going to study about the chromosomal number, DNA. Now you know about that this helical model of the DNA. ಹೌದಾ, DNA RNA ಮೊದಲು ಈ ತರ linear system, that is linear system, they are not all observed. ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದು after classification only we are studying that how many chromosomes are there. We have normally discussed DNA fingerprinting technology. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಬರ್ತದೆ cytotaxonomy, because ಸೆಲ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So we have collected the detailed information from the species. So that's very important. Now we are studying the DNA structure and all those things. molecular level of all, that is the even we can see that the RDNA technology and all those things we are going to be studying. So this is by means of the cytotaxonomy. ಹೌದಾ, ಡಾಟಾ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಯಿತು, ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಬರೆದ್ರು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್, ಡಿಟೇಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ we have studied. Next, it has been observed that the chemotaxonomy. Chemotaxonomy means here we are observing the various chemical nature. Chemical nature ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ in the plant, you can observe that, you know about the, now at present we are studying about the various kinds of hormones that is going to be required for the growth of the plant. So now, how it has been observed that these chemical substances are present in the plant body. ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೋದು? chemotaxonomy ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ನೇಚರ್, ಸೈಟೋಟೆಕ್ಸಾನಮಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ನೇಚರ್. ಹೌದಾ, ನ್ಯೂಮೆರಿಕಲ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸಾನಮಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಗಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್. We have normally collected the information by means of the computers. Cytotaxonomy, cellular. So in this way, chemotaxonomy also we have studied. So all these, after studying of those things, you can observe that now they made the classification. ಯಾವ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು? ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಫೈಲೋಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನರಿ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್. Present day classification is based on the evolutionary relationship. It has been normally founded by Engler and Prandtl. And one more question barbodu, who proposed artificial system of classification, natural system of classification? So now, what are the demerits in the case of linear system of classification? ಹೌದಾ, ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ವೇಟೇಜ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು. They have not separated the species. So in this way, normally the demerits we are going to be found in the artificial system, then natural system of classification, or the present day system. Andre plant kingdom also undergoes several changes by making the classification. Now we are studying about the first thing, that is in the case of plant group, primitive plants we are going to study, that is algae. Primitive plant, what we are observing, that algae. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಶೈವಲಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. algae what we are studying about here is ಶೈವಲಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ರೈಟ್. ಜನರಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ, ಜನರಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್, so don't by heart these things. You can see that once we are saying that these are primitive plants, andaga usually they are not present freely. So they are present, no doubt that freely, but they are in the aquatic manner. ಹೌದಾ, ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಅಮೀಬಾ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಸಿಯಂ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಡ್ರೈ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ aquatic only. So general characters ನೋಡಿದಾಗ algae you can see that these are aquatic. Aquatic ಅಂದಾಗ marine as well as freshwater. Aquatic ಅಂದಾಗ marine as well as freshwater. So in this way these are aquatic. ನೀರೊಳಗೆ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆಯ್ತು. Now how the nature of this ಅಂದ್ರೆ they are normally thalloid in structure. So now thalloid in structure, the thallus is there. Thallus means what? Even bryophyte also we are speaking about the thallus. Thallus ಅಂದ್ರೆ plant body is not at all differentiated to root, stem and leaf. Differentiation ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದೇ flattened plant body ಇರುತ್ತವೆ, that is called as a thallus. A flattened plant body is called as a thallus ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Thalloid structure ಅಂದ್ರೆ thalloid structure means flattened plant body. The plant body is not differentiated to root, stem and leaf. Right? Next we have to see that these are chlorophyllous. Chlorophyllous means they contain chlorophyll pigment. Chlorophyll pigment is going to be found here. Majority of them we can see that they are found in the fresh water. Very few they are present in the marine, like kelp and the birth. So they are going to be found in the marine water. So next is chlorophyllous in nature, thalloid structure. Thalloid under thallus structure, where the plant body is not differentiated into root, stem and leaf. Next we can see that they are also growing. They are also growing in the ಸರ್ಟನ್ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್, ಈಗ ವೆಟ್ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್ ಹೌದಾ, ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಬೆಳಿಬಹುದು. ಕೆಲಸ ಇದು ಆಲ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ ದಟ್ ಆಲ್ಗೆ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸಿಂಬಯಾಟಿಕ್ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಅಂತ ಓದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಸಿಂಬಯಾಟಿಕ್ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ವೇರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ lichens. Symbiotic we have observed in the case of lichens. So in this way, algae are found in the aquatic. They are thalloid in nature, and apart from that, they are chlorophyllous. They can synthesize their own food. Chlorophyllous means they can synthesize their own food. ಇದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ along with this, we have also studied that is the symbiotic association with the lichens ಅಂತ ಓದಿದ್ವಿ. That also we have tried. Symbiotic association with the lichens. Symbiotic association. Symbiotic association with lichens. Symbiotic association with the lichens. This also we have observed. So in this way, andre idರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ along with this you can observe that even the wet material walls ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ ಬೆಳಿಬಹುದು. ಹೌದಾ, ನೀರೊಳಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತಂತಲ್ಲ, ವೆಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್. ಗೋಡೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ ಆಗಿ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಗ್ರೀನಿಶ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್, ಹೌದಾ, ಗೋಡೆ ಹಸಿ ಉಳಿದುತ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ವಿದಿನ್ ಫ್ಯೂ ಡೇಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದಟ್ ಗ್ರೀನಿಶ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್. ಹೌದಾ, ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ವೇ it has been grown in several regions, and even you can observe that the algae is supposed to be considered as a producers. You can see that the producers andre they are normally involving the giving sufficient food supply to the aquatic animals. Andre majority of the aquatic animals are mainly dependent on the algae. Majority of the aquatic animals are dependent on the algae. That's what we are studying in the uses. So in this way, whatever we have studied the general character, that what we have observed in the case of algae, now we have to observe that there are different types of algae are going to be found. Algae are colonial. Example: bivalves, filamentous. ಎರಡು ಇರಬಹುದು. ಹೌದಾ, ಈಗ ಸ್ಪೈರೋಗೇರಾ ಇದೆ, ಎಲೋಥ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ filamentous in nature ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. So algae are colonial ಅಂದ್ರೆ they are growing in the form of colony. ಈ ತರ ಕಾಲನಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ. They are growing in the form of colony. Algae are considered as a colonial bivalves. They are growing in the colonial or the colony, that is bivalves. They are growing in the form of colonial, filamentous in nature. As you already observed that how the chlorophyll pigment is going to be found. Spirogyra anta bandide. Spirogyra is the chlorophyll pigment. You can see that the base of that is the name. Spirogyra anta yakantu because of the spiral shaped chloroplast. It is the name called as Spirogyra. So it is filamentous in nature. Filamentous andre thread-like structure is going to be found. Now we can see that the colonial irbodu, filamentous array irbodu. That is the shape or what we are observing about the nature of the algae, what we are seeing there. Now we can see that reproduction takes place by vegetative. Reproduction takes place by vegetative, asexual. Vegetative, asexual and sexual. So reproduction takes place by even algae also we are saying that thing. What we are studying here, they are all multicellular, no doubt. And now reproduction takes place by vegetative, asexual and the sexual mode of reproduction is going to be taking place. In vegetative mode andre usually we can see that the fragmentation. Vegetative mode of fragmentation. You know that one part has been detached, means that part is supposed to be growing into another one. That is the vegetative mode of reproduction ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. And asexual mode of reproduction. Asexual mode of reproduction is nothing but the production of the spores. ಹೌದಾ? Asexual producing spores. ಹೌದಾ? Asexually producing spores ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಆ spores ಯಾವುದಂದ್ರೆ normally zoospores. Asexually producing spores are normally considered as zoospores, which are motile. Motile spores are going to be found. So now here we are saying that the motile spores. Now sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction means you can observe that the sexual reproduction is taking place in again by fusion of the gametes. Sexual reproduction is taking place by the fusion of gametes. And there are, you can observe that the three kinds of gametes are going to be found here. Sexual mode of reproduction on hengagtandre, it is normally comprises the fusion of two gametes. Fusion of two gametes. Here you can observe that the sexual reproduction takes place in three ways. One is isogamous. Isogamous. Number two, anisogamous. Anisogamous and oogamous. These are the oogamous. These are the different types of the gametes that is going to be found. That is the isogamous, anisogamous, oogamous. Vegetative reproduction ಅಂದಾಗ ಏನಾಯಿತು, whether it is the large plant or the small plant, fragmented parties develop. But now asexually producing spores, zoospores ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, which are motile ಅಂತ. Then the sexual mode of reproduction ಅಂದಾಗ, so we can observe that the fusion of two gametes are supposed to be required. ಹೌದಾ? Two gametes ಅಂದಾಗ, so now some are normally depends on the size. Some are smaller, some are larger, like this. So fusion of the gametes which are similar in size. Fusion of gametes which are similar in size is called as isogamous. Fusion of gametes which are of similar size is called as isogamous. Next is fusion of gametes which are dissimilar in size. This is called as anisogamous. Fusion of gametes which are of dissimilar in size is called as anisogamous. Here you can observe that the oogamous is the fusion of gametes, male gamete and the female gamete. Here female gamete is larger, male gamete is smaller. This is called as oogamous ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಒಂದು fusion of gametes which are similar in size is called as isogamous. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೂರು ಪ್ರಕಾರದಿಂದ sexual reproduction ಆಗ್ತದೆ. And they are also producing their own kind. Isogamous, anisogamous, oogamous. Fusion, gamous ಅಂದ್ರೆ fusion. Fusion of iso means similar. Fusion of two similar sized gametes, it is called as isogamous. Fusion of two dissimilar sized gametes is called as anisogamous. In the fusion of one large gametes, another one is normally small sized gametes. The male is smaller, female is larger. The male is motile, female is non-motile ಅಥವಾ non-flagellated ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಬೋದು. ಈ ರೀತಿ the differentiation what we are saying that the isogamous, anisogamous and the oogamous. Followed? So ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ again you can observe that what kind of the spores are generated, how the flagellated, non-flagellated, the definitions we'll discuss once again, plus uses of the algae. In the next class we are studying about the uses of the algae plus regarding these things isogamous, anisogamous, oogamous once again. Followed? Today we have studied the general characteristics of the algae. Along with that we have also studied about that how the plant kingdom is changes. Plant kingdom is normally changed the classification of the right from the artificial system to the evolutionary. And present day classification is evolutionary based anta ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. Right? Then we have studied about the cellular structure or the even we have studied about the chromosomal number. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು classification ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಯ್ತು. All 46 number of chromosomes that is related to one group. ಹೌದಾ? ಎಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ 46 number of chromosomes ಯಾರು 26 ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದ್ದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ this is chromosomal number normally if it is reduced defect genes ಅಂತ that what we are going to study. Okay, now ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಲ ಹೇಳಿ. Tomorrow we are going to study ಅಂದ್ರೆ next video ನಲ್ಲಿ uses of form ಕೂಡ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ. Okay, have a nice day.